Hey folks, my name's Adrienne and welcome to Metaphysical Monday. And today I wanted to tell you a quick story about the first time that it was completely undeniable that I could pick up on the future, precognizance. So I was about 5 years old and I was very opinionated, even at that age. And not in a rude way or disrespectful way in any way, but I was, I would let my thoughts be known and let my opinions be known. And if any of you know me, then you know that hasn't changed. So my mom's getting ready for us to, get to bed because it's going to be a school day the next day. And it was fall in Colorado, beautiful, crisp fall day. Skies were completely blue. There was no snow forecast for the weather at all. And so she's like, you have to get to bed. And I'm like, I don't have to go to school tomorrow. It's a snow day. And she had to find her inner zen. She's like, baby dear, look outside. And she even pulled the curtain aside and she's like, see? And it was a beautiful, bright, crisp day. And I was like, well, I don't care. I know right now it's not snowing, but it's a snow day tomorrow and I don't have to go to school. So, but I was just very matter of fact. And so she's like, okay, well, you have to go to bed anyway. So I was like, all right. So I lay down and, we said our nightly I love yous and God bless yous and said our nightly prayers. And I got up in the morning, or I woke up in the morning, and, you could feel this buzz in the air. And it's kind of like Christmas. I don't know, any of you states that have snow days, you can definitely relate to this. You're waiting to see, I don't know, this was back in the day. So we're waiting by the radio to see which schools would be closed, or, which schools were going to be having snow days. And because it hit so suddenly, they actually closed all the schools. They didn't have the ice prepared, the salt prepared for the ice. They didn't have the bulldozers prepared. So everybody had a snow day that day. And I remember my sisters looked at me a little bit crazy. And everybody was like, this little chick, because like I said, I was 5. And I was like, cool. It wasn't a big deal to me because I just knew it, And when, like I said, when I was little, I was very much to myself. Unless I was playing with my older sisters, which I did, here and there. But they were 6 years older, so I didn't play with them a ton. But I played by myself a lot. And I think when you're protected, and I think children inherently are, and you get into that flow, so if you ask for protection and you get into that flow, be it doing work that you love. I know there were times that I would be doing makeup and I would get into that flow, and it's just effortless, right? It just comes out of you. Or when I'm painting, or writing, or whatever it is that you do, whatever hobby that you have that gives you that feeling of just flow, when you're just doing it and you're it's almost like a meditative state. Though that's when you get some of those downloads. And it is really interesting. And it's funny, I think now that I've gotten older, I don't get things quite as clearly. I am very much aware, generally, I shouldn't say everyone, but we have very dark humor, obviously. Our family's been through some things, but everybody used to joke, hey, if you get sick, don't, if Adrienne cries and gets super upset or sends you a card, be worried. Because if somebody would get sick, people would be like, no, it's good. They'll be out in a couple days, and inevitably the person would end up passing away. And I'd be like, I knew it, whatever. And so that's where that joke came from. But it was so funny because a lot of times by the time that person had passed, I had come to peace with it because I had that heads up, So it's difficult, but it's neat at any rate. And now as I've gotten older, my I'll have a lot of dreams, but they'll be very mundane. I don't think you're allowed to get too much of a peak. I've had very deep meditations where I go in and I'm with my guides and I've seen my book of life, and it's so funny because I'm me. So I reached over and I kind of wanted to peek, and my guide just kind of smiled and pulled the book away. You know, like, we're not allowed to see too much. We can know a little bit, just not too much. So I'll have dreams and it'll be of a completely mundane situation, but, you know, 6 months down the road, that situation will end up like happening, and I'm like, oh, I remember that dream, you know. And it's different because they don't feel like normal dreams. You know, I'm very aware that it's not a normal dream when it happens, so I don't know. It's very interesting, and that comes from intuition, right? So we all have a sense of that. We all have a sense of that inner knowing, and it's when we don't pay attention to intuition is when we get ourselves into trouble. So that inner knowing and that protection, and that little thing in your ear, like when you want to go out and you're like, oh, I kind of want to go out, but that little thing in your head is like, don't go out. Listen to the little voice in your head. That's your intuition, and 99.9% of the time it's doing its best to protect you. So again, welcome back. My name is Adrienne. Thank you so much for stopping by, and if you like this content, hit like, share, subscribe, and if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know why I'm so completely stoked to be getting this video out today. It was touch and go, but here it is. So thank you so much. Bye.